Coming to second aspect of organisms and population chapter, that is population. First, all of you think one important thing. What is population? Population is a group of species. A species is a group of population is an important point you need to make difference. That is, I found many students getting confused here. So here, uh, species means a group of interbreeding organisms, similar forms. Many definitions are there. But a species can have many populations. So population is a group of organisms of same species living in a particular area at a particular time. So there are various special characters of population like natality. Then so first one is natality. Natality means we can also call it birth rate. The birth rate is natal. How many births? Generally number of births per unit population, then birth rate. For example, previously the population number is 20. Then in a year 8 new are born. Total population is now 28. Then you can say 8 by 20 is number of births by previous population in unit time. That becomes per capita birth rate. Similarly, in human beings in India, very commonly we use number of births per thousand. Then coming to mortality. So what is mortality? Number of deaths per unit population. So basic characters of population you can know by natality, mortality. So same rule, how many deaths are there previously, how much population in unit time, then what you get is mortality. Then coming to density. So what is density? So once I asked in a class, they start saying density means mass by volume, not that one. So density means number of organisms in a unit area. For example, in India, most commonly how the population density or for human beings you can say in general. Number of persons living in a square kilometer area. Number of persons living in a square kilometer area becomes the population density. But so the common measure is number by unit area or number per unit volume. But if there is a lot of difference in two different organisms showing huge difference in their size, then what you have to compare? You're trying to compare one elephant and one rat and you say elephant density is less. No. Then try to take, for example, plants area cover, large area, some plants are small. So percent cover. In another case, what you have to do is weight per unit area. So generally, it is difficult to calculate in certain cases like tigers. Tiger population, how to calculate the density. Then they consider the points like pug marks and fecal pellets. So these may be taken into consideration for population density. But what is influencing population increasing, decreasing? Or one more point here I try to highlight. If you are taking some aquatic organisms, fishes, many times they're caught, marked and released. Then they try to make a ratio between how many are marked, how many are unmarked. So that you have to practice separately, how to do problems related to calculating this population density. Then migration. Another important factor is migration. Migration means emigration, immigration. So from one particular area going away means emigration. Coming towards this area means immigration. So immigration is moving into one area, emigration moving away from an area. So both of them constitute migration. But ultimately, what is going to influence population density? Once look into this. So here immigration is increasing the population. So plus natality is also increasing the population. These two are increasing the population. Then you take emigration negatively influencing, mortality negatively influencing. So how population is increasing or decreasing means how you can say that is natality plus immigration minus mortality plus immigration. So natality, how many are born, how many are coming from other areas, then how many are dying and how many are going out of this area. So from this you can say whether population density is going to increase or decrease. So that is about the migration. Then coming to growth, how the population is growing. So basically one important thing whether population increase or decrease means intrinsic rate of natural increase or birth rate minus death rate. Suppose birth rate is 0.4, death rate is 0.2, then net growth is 0.2. R value will be 0.2 in that case, right? Just for example I am giving. Then you have to multiply this with initial population to know. But growth curves as such, there are two types of growth curves, right? That is, so here the two types of growth curves. So one is called this is a logistic growth curve. This blue color shaded one is logistic growth curve. Other one is exponential growth. Exponential growth. So in exponential growth, the population is very fastly increasing. So dn by dt is equal to small r n. Just r value multiply with n. N means previous population number. Then for example 0.2 is n, previous population number is 20. You multiply this 20 with that 0.2, then you will get what are the how is the population is increasing. So this value is showing only how many members are getting added. For example, for India in 1981, they found that 0.0205 is the R value. Then multiply that with the Indian population, then you will get how much number is getting added annually. So that is an alarming figure. We'll be worried to know about that. In fact, exponential here, what is taken on x-axis, time is taken on x-axis, right? So time is taken on x-axis, and then so time is taken on x-axis, right? So this what is taken on y-axis? On y-axis, population density is taken. So here time, here density. These are the two things that is taken. With increasing time, the population is phenomenally increasing. So continuously there is a birth rate. The birth rate is continuously increasing. Exponential, geometrical growth. It is geometrical growth. So that's why Darwin said it is not possible. Continuously available food will be a limiting factor. Then second type of growth curve is logistic curves. So what are logistic curves? So logistic curves means they have some logic. Why population is increasing? Because plenty of resources are available. I'm not talking about other organisms. I'm talking about other, not about human beings. When resources are limited, the population's growth decreases. Thus, you observe this important point. Here there is carrying capacity. What is this? Maximum number of organisms that a habitat can accommodate over long periods of time is called carrying capacity. Until it reaches carrying capacity, the growth is relatively fast. But what are the different phases? Initially, the growth is slow to adjust. Then growth is very fast, log phase. Then third one is steady state. So it stabilizes here, that is steady state. So here dn by dt and here dn by dt, remember k, carrying capacity. So Rn into k minus n by k. A population growth or number is equal to carrying capacity, then growth rate declines. So coming to another aspect is age pyramids and age groups. Age pyramids and age groups. And finally, life history variation. Life history variations. So age pyramids, you simply once see this graph. First graph, what is the specialty? Expanding. This is expanding population. Expanding is triangular pyramid. This is yellow colored is pre-reproductive, blue colored is reproductive, green colored is post-reproductive in this diagram. Pre-reproductive number is greater than reproductive, so that is going to increase. Then stable population, almost all three age groups are equal. So it is generally also described as a bell-shaped pyramid. This is a triangular pyramid, first one. This is bell-shaped. This is urn-shaped. Pre-reproductive is less than reproductive. So this is very much useful to understand various other organisms, whether population is increasing, decreasing, remaining stable, like that. So what is the life history variation? Whether population does not have a common character, I am talking about different populations. So some pelagic fishes produce progeny in large numbers. Birds and mammals, large sized progeny, few in number. So small sized, they produce more progeny, large sized, less progeny, and some breed only once in their lifetime. Some breed many times. So what is best suitable, we cannot say. Some migratory fishes like anguilla and salmon, once they breed, they will die. Bamboo plant also breeds only once in its lifetime. So what is the best thing? You cannot say what is best, because it depends on the environment where it lives. So we are not the judges, but environment is the judge. It is going to decide what is best suitable for them. So it depends. So one more point finally I conclude in this population is community is a group of different populations living in a particular area But population is a group of organisms of same species living in particular area. So population is one more important topic in organisms and population.